Have you ever been listening to an in-game radio station and thought, man, this is better than the actual radio? Well, that's exactly what I thought once I downloaded an extended New Vegas radio generator. Let me start by saying this is one of my favorite mods, but it's very old, and there's only 2 tutorials on YouTube, both of which are outdated. Now I've had to install this mod a number of times to get it right, so that's why I figured I'd step in and give you this step-by-step tutorial to help anybody in the future. You're going to want to start by downloading Audacity and JDownloader 2. After which we are going to be downloading Extended New Vegas Radio Generator itself. Once you have downloaded Extended New Vegas Radio Generator, you're going to want to drag and drop the contents into your source folder. Next, we're going to want to download our playlist using JDownloader 2. To do this, first we're going to start by copying the link of our playlist. JDownloader has already detected in this case, but if it doesn't do this, we'll click Add New Links. There will be our link automatically pasted. Choose where you want to save your playlist. I suggest making a new folder. Then we'll click Continue. Click Playlist. And then we'll let it do its thing. Okay, once it's finished, you should see all of your videos here on the left side. Under file types, you're going to want to uncheck everything except for audio file. Now you'll click Start Downloads and once again let it do its thing. Now that we're done with JDownloader, you should have a variety of audio files in the desired folder. JDownloader downloads the source files, so for the most part they'll be .m4a. We're going to want to make all of the audio files one consistent format. We can do this in 2 ways. We can either use a program such as AIMERSOFT to convert all of the files at once, or we can manually drag each file into Audacity. This way you can raise the amplification to 0 decibels. Audacity will automatically tell you the peak amplification. And then here we can export it as an MP3 or WAV to a folder we'll call Fixed. Once you have converted all of your audio files into one consistent file format, you're going to want to head to your game's root folder. From here we're going to go to Data, Sound, Songs, and then RADIONVEXTEND. Then you're going to want to open MUSICTOCONVERT, and we're going to want to copy all of our music into this folder.
Is perfect. I mean, it's just a wonderful state.
Now that we've copied all our music to this folder, you're going to want to rename all of your music to something generic. In this case, we're just going to rename it Rename Me. It should rename all the files if you have them all highlighted. Okay, head back to RADIONVEXTEND. Now we're going to run convert to mp3.bat. Press any key to continue. Here we'll enter the file type we chose to convert all our audio files to, in my case WAV. And this next part may take a while depending on the number of songs you chose. This part's important. I'll explain later on in the video, but for now we're going to keep our songs at 0 dB, which is 1.0. Okay, now just sit back and let it do its thing. This part may take a while depending on the number of songs you have. Okay, now that it's done, press any key to continue. And now we're going to run rename to xxx.bat. This one should be pretty fast. Done. After running rename to xxx.bat, all of your audio files should have been renamed 1 through whatever. If any numbers are skipping, rename all of your audio files to something generic and then run the bat again. All of the in-game world radios use OGG files. So now we're going to run convert to mono OGG. This will create an OGG file for each one of our audio files. This is also why I said earlier to keep all of our audio files at 0 dB when running the convert to mp3.bat, and I will explain my reasoning for that later. Okay, as usual, press any key to continue. After running the .bat, we're going to scroll down and we're going to copy all of these .ogg files. Now you can paste them into a folder of your choosing. And you can go ahead and delete the OGG files from RADIONVEXTEND. Next, we are also going to delete all of the MP3s 1 through whatever in RADIONVEXTEND. Like I've said before, I'll explain later. After deleting all of the MP3 files from RADIONVEXTEND, but leaving all of the MP3 files in MUSICTOCONVERT, we're going to now once again run convert to mp3.bat. Press any key to continue. .wav. The only exception this time is you are going to change the volume scale to that of your choosing. I recommend going -10 dB or -15 dB, as that's what the in-game songs fluctuate between. I'm going to go with -15 dB, which would be 0.178. Okay, now we're going to let it do its thing. This is the longest part of installing this mod. Now that we've run the longest bat file again, we're going to once again hit any key to continue. And we're going to run rename to xxx.bat. Okay. As you can see, it skipped numbers here. So what we're going to do is highlight all the files. Right click one, rename. And we're going to rename it to something else generic, just test. And then run rename to xxx.bat again. Now you can see it worked. 1 through 140. Okay. This time we are not going to run, though, convert to mono OGG. Instead, we are going to go to those OGG files that we copied, highlight them all, and then paste them into RADIONVEXTEND. Okay, now we have all of our OGG files that are at 0 decibels, and all of our MP3 files that are at whatever volume you set them at. So now we are going to head into the game's root folder, and we're going to run ExtendedNVR generator. Here it's going to ask us for the number of tracks. So we can go back into data, found, songs, radio extend, scroll down, and for me it would be 140. Alright. Here you can see extra tracks for the game that weren't included. Country tracks that are normally on Mojave radio station. Blues tracks that play on the Gomorrah radio station. Classical tracks, and the Fallout 3 GNR music. Do not check include Fallout 3 GNR music unless you own Fallout 3. In that case, you'll have to go in the Fallout 3 files, copy and paste the music manually into Radio GNR. In my case, I just downloaded the songs from YouTube from Fallout 3, and they're in here. Alright, after you have checked what you want and number of tracks, you can also change how many songs between each Mr. New Vegas announcement. I'm going to set the maximum number 25. Alright, now we hit generate. Okay, it should do this for a moment. Just let it load. And there we go. Now it should have created ExtendedNVRadio.esp in your data folders. Alright, just to double check. There we go. And the final step, just make sure it's enabled in whatever mod manager you use. Okay, now for an explanation of the extra steps. Here you can see if I drag 1.mp3 into Audacity, it's negative 15 decibels, as we set it in convert to mp3.bat. But if I drag 1mono.ogg, it's significantly louder, as it peaks at 0 decibels. When I first installed this mod, I set all the audio files, OGG included, to negative 10 decibels. This sounded great in the Pip-Boy, but when I came across a radio in world and went right up next to it, there was nothing but silence. The reason for this is in the in-game files, the OGG files are significantly louder than the MP3 files for your Pip-Boy. Also, the volume slider for radio controls not only your Pip-Boy, but also all in-game radios. I believe these extra steps are necessary if you care about in-game radios around the map. Hope this video helps anyone now or in the future, as despite being old, I still think this is the best radio mod to date.